So we're gonna do a really pretty, light, feminine, angelic type of glam today. Supermodel slash Victoria's Secret Angel inspired makeup. I'm gonna do my own little twist on it, make it work for fair skin in my own features, because I want it to be a enhance your own beauty type of look instead of trying to look like someone else. So keep that in mind with this video topic idea. You can still recreate this look. It's gonna be very shimmery, super fun, honestly everything that I love in makeup. So let's get started. So whenever I want to be smooth but also be glowy, I always reach for this iconic London Underglow blurring primer. This is so unique because it's smoothing, blurring, and gives you that like shimmery glow without being chunky, you know? I'm not a huge primer person, but this is one primer that I'm like, I can get behind it. So it is a liquid consistency, and I'm just gonna smooth that on. It's a unique take on traditional silicone-based smoothing primers. It still has the silicone in it to blur you out, but it's a lot thinner, more of like a skincare-esque feeling product. And it does add a little bit of glow too. This is basically the perfect primer for combo skin as well, because you're getting the best of both worlds. You get the best of both worlds. You get the best of both worlds. Next, for some more targeted glow, I feel like it would be a crime not to use this product in this type of makeup tutorial, the Hollywood Flawless Filter by Charlotte Tilbury. So I actually saw, you know, e.l.f. has like the dupe of this. I have a review on that. They released their original range, had fair shades that were very orange and basically too dark on me. That's why I still prefer the original Charlotte Tilbury one. It's also like a little bit heavier. I'm just doing this on the high points of the face, by the way. And then they said that they launched some new shades, and I checked them out. So they expanded within the shade range, including 2 new fair shades, and they honestly still look orange. I will pop a picture here. I'm not sure if once you put them on they're gonna look differently, but it was weird. It's like, just make an even lighter shade. Like, we don't need to be darkened when we're super fair, you know? It's like, literally just make it light. That would be great. I would love to know your thoughts on that, if you feel like they actually did a good job expanding that, or if it was just like, if you're expanding it, actually expand it. And I'm just blending this in with my sponge, fresh sponge here, super satisfying. Yeah, so that's exactly what this one has above the e.l.f. one, is it's just a better shade. This is super pretty. I do feel like it can make your makeup look a little bit cakey if you use too much though, so I like to keep it nice and thin. Honestly, already loving this look. I want to brighten up the under eyes before we go in with foundation. I'm gonna use the e.l.f. color corrector. I don't know why I held it like that. Hypermobile thing, but this is just the yellow one. I feel like it brightens my under eyes really good because they're more on the purple side, and this is still very thin. Going in with my sponge again. I think the key to this model-esque makeup is you want to be glowy and also feel like your skin is really even without using too much makeup. So that's why I like to really focus on the prep and the color correcting, because if you're color corrected, you won't need to use as much foundation, which is our goal here, because we still want the skin to be skin-like. I feel like this foundation would be really good for this look because it does actually have some shimmer in the formula itself. It's the Makeup by Mario foundation. This is 1C, which is a little bit too cool for me, so I am going to add in a bit of green just to match my fair oliveness. And I'm going to use a little bit of this because it's a really thick foundation. It's not my absolute favorite, but okay, I should have shaken it. Shook it. All right, take 2. Let me shake this up. It was like, it came out and it was basically half liquid, half thickness. I still don't remember it being that thin. That'd be funny if it's supposed to be this thin and when I used it I was just getting like the thickness at the bottom. I'm gonna take some directly from the pump because I feel like, I don't know, it was just separating weird. And then mixing in a bit of that green e.l.f. corrector. And then I'm just gonna dot this. I don't know why this cheek is red and the other one isn't. Rosacea vibes. Now going back in with my sponge, we're gonna blend. I want to start with a thin layer so it's not cakey. We can always build it up. This looks really good. I am like literally rethinking my life. Is this supposed to be this consistency? When I first tried it, I was just getting like some thickness that settled on the bottom. If you have this foundation, let me know what the consistency is, but this one is like, I don't remember it being this liquidy. And I'm just going back in to build that up where I need it, which is usually my cheek and chin area. This base combo is perfection for this look. It's still very glowy but has that coverage that we need. I wanted to do this look because you don't really see it a lot on fair skin or like any other skin than white people who are tan. So I just wanted to show you that you can still create the look on different skin tones and you don't have to be tan or any specific skin tone to rock the look. So I'm going in with my Rose Ink Concealer, which is very thick, and honestly this packaging is so, like, it gets so much product on it, but I still really love the formula. Really full coverage, and you only need the tiniest bit. Going in again with my almighty sponge. I'm just not a brush complexion person for foundation and concealer. I just can't get it to work for me. I mean, it works, but it just takes way longer and I don't like the finish as much. Let me know, are you a brush or sponge person, or a different application method for your base product? How full coverage that is, and it has the perfect fair olive undertone. By the way, Rose Ink has a new foundation. I posted over on my community tab. I'm always talking about new launches there. I did order it to review. Make sure you're subscribed so you do not miss that. I'm really excited because it actually claims to have a matte finish, which is super, I feel like, rare nowadays. Most, especially like clean brands, are doing super dewy stuff, you know, but I'm combo. I like a matte product every once in a while. So I still want that very pretty sun-kissed glow, but more suited for my skin tone. So I'm gonna use a more sheer bronzing product. This is from Chantecaille, the Radiance Gel Bronzer, which is still quite warm, but because it's a gel, it's just gonna blend in a little bit nicer. You can also use the KVD Mod Con Contour. I love that one as well. For a bit more of a cool tone shade, really any liquid is gonna help blend seamlessly. I'm also gonna apply this with a stippling brush. This is a Luxie Duo Fiber Powder, but I'm gonna use it for this because it applies it very lightly as well. So I'm just working it into the brush first. And then just starting right on the cheeks, and I'm just swiping it on before we go into blend. Top of the forehead, a little bit on the nose, chin, and then I'm gonna start blending it out. So I know the rules, like, you're never supposed to drag your brushes, but when you're using a duo fiber, that dragging motion actually really helps to blend things. Like, you can go back in and do this motion to blend it really seamlessly, but that's like kind of the beauty of this brush, is it just applies things really nicely. Make sure it's extra seamless. Going back into my sponge, I'm gonna take whatever's left on this brush and just bring it down the sides of my neck. I saw these in my drawer and I was like, these are literally perfect for this look. The Daniel Sandler Watercolor Liquid Cheek Colors. These are like an ultra shimmery liquid blush. It's super glowy. So this one is a bit more of a like bronzy color. So we're gonna start with this one just a little bit. I'm gonna use the same brush that I used for the bronzer because this is almost like a bronzer shade on me. And this is just gonna build up our glow even more. It's gonna add a little bit of a bronzy touch and some shimmer, since the Chantecaille bronzer does not have any shimmer in it. I'm almost using this as a transition shade for the bronzer, if you sort of think of it as eyeshadow. And now this shade I will actually use as my blush shade. I don't know the shade name. I'll have to put them in the description below. I'm actually just gonna take this one on my finger just to apply it right where I want it. And this I'm gonna blend out with my sponge. You really don't need a lot of this product for the glow. It just, see that? It's so insane. Still gotta set everything though because I'm too oily not to set. So I'm gonna keep my powders glowy to still keep the glowy finish. I don't want to over mattify anything, which I tend to do a lot. Laura Mercier powder. This is the setting powder, the Ultra Blur, which has a bit more glow to it versus the original. I have a comparison video on this if you really wanted to see them side by side. First off, I gotta smooth out my under eye, so I'm just gonna use my finger to smooth out any creases. I'm gonna do a mini bake using a powder puff. I'm gonna keep it on the inner corner of my eye. I don't want to like mattify this area yet. Taking a little bit more on my chin, and I'll do my forehead. Middle of my forehead, just the oily zones. Taking whatever's left on my puff, I'm going to set below the cheek and also just slightly around my forehead. I think we gotta leave that unset, keep the glow. If you wanted like an alternative to a glowy powder, the e.l.f. Halo Glow, this one is very glowy, not really the best for oily skin, but does keep your glow if you're interested. Now, while it's baking, let's move on to our eyes. I gotta do my brows. I lost my brow pencil, my Maybelline one, so I've just been using this e.l.f. one that I have, which is still a really good powder. I mean, pencil. This is the blonde shade, I believe, or is it taupe? So for brows, I'm kind of just gonna do what I usually do. I would suggest whatever brow shape you feel like really suits your face. So I haven't been using concealer on my eyelids because I feel like it just makes my eyeshadow crease. So I'm gonna use an eyeshadow base. This is the Jason Woo Prime Eye Eyeshadow Primer. They have different shades. I really like the white one because it just makes all the colors pop. And I just like to use this on my finger and then go in with a fluffy brush to blend it in. This is the Iconic London. It's like their eyeshadow, again, why am I doing that? Concealer duo brush for their new corrector in concealer, but it's really nice for applying things in the eye area. Now that the base is on, to start building the very ethereal, angelic glow eyeshadow, starting with the Victoria Beckham Signature palette, I'm going to take this shade over here, which is very close to my skin tone, but just dark enough to be a transition shade. And I'm just going to apply this basically from the inner corner all the way to the outer corner of my eye. And then also going into the next shade, which is a baby pink shade, layering that right on top. Now that we have that good base going, I'm going to go into the Charlotte Tilbury Luxury palette. I thought this was so model-esque as well. This is the Mesmerizing Maroon, which is one of my favorite color stories. I was also thinking of using the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette because the vibes were perfect, but I just used that, so I was like, let me show you something a little bit different. So I'm gonna start, this is gonna be more purple, as you may see from this palette, so I'm going in with the matte purple that we have on a small dense brush. This is a Luxie blending brush. These are really pigmented and pretty. So I'm gonna start by smoking this on the outer V of my eye. I'm not gonna go super elongated or anything because I just want to like enhance my own features. So I have round eyes, so I'm gonna extend it a little bit, but we're not going to do anything like too dramatic. Going back into the Victoria Beckham palette, I'm going to take this far right sort of mid-tone taupey brown on that same brush. Just want to layer that up. Now let's get into these shimmers. There is 3 gorgeous shimmers in here. The shimmers alone are like worth getting this palette. They're really unique, super shimmery. Starting with the deepest shimmer, which is close to that matte purple that we laid down using my finger. I'm gonna pat that on the outer corner. These are very, very creamy and blendable. And then using that brush just to soften the edges. They also don't blend away when you use a brush, which I really like. Next, taking this color, which is a bit different from the other metallics, a little bit more of like a sheer glitter shade. Still has pigment to it though. Look how pretty that is. One of those like wet look shades. And I'm just layering that on the inner corner. Okay, it's actually not that much sheer than the other ones. These are all really pigmented. I'm not a huge like Charlotte Tilbury person. I feel like some of the stuff is just not worth it, but these palettes, they're really pretty. And then lastly, taking the lightest shimmer, putting that right on the inner corner, blending that in to the other shades. This is like a mid-tone champagne shade. And then I'm actually gonna go back in to that mid-tone purple on a brush. Just gonna lightly dust it all over the shades, just to blend all of them in. Don't be afraid to put a little shimmer in the crease. It's a very glowy eye look. So we're gonna do something a little bit different for the lower lash line, but before we do that, I'm just gonna take the tiniest amount of this shimmer shade on a small brush and only do this on the very outer corner. Now I want to work on getting that super bright shimmery lower lash line. So I'm going to use the NYX Epic Wear liner. This is one of my favorite shimmery liners ever. This is the shade Rose Gold, which it's just so metallic and pretty but lasts forever. So we're going to do this on the waterline. I need to sharpen this. So once that's all over my waterline, I'm also going to run it on my lower lash line, basically from the inner corner to that shade that we put down on the outer corner. And this shade matches almost perfectly that inner corner shade from the Charlotte Tilbury palette. This is really pretty and sparkly, but I want to brighten it up even more. So I'm going to take a loose single shadow that's like a pure white shimmer. This is from Lily Lolo. It's called Angelic, which is perfect, which is very glittery. We're gonna use this wet so we don't get a ton of fallout. So I actually dampened a round inner corner brush. It is super shimmery and white. So I just dragged that on the inner corner and then right onto the lower lash line as well. And then whatever's left, I'm actually gonna drag right over that eyeliner. So the eyeliner acts a little bit like a base for this loose shadow. Also taking whatever's left right on the brow bone. I'm glad we still have the bake on because I did get a little bit of fallout with that, but that really just opened up the eyes. It gives you that really pretty shimmery look. You don't have to use a loose shadow. You could totally do something like a pressed shadow or even just like a liner. Sort of a hallmark of the look is the very bright, sparkly inner corner and lower lash line. Now we're going to do a smoky liner, going back into the Victoria Beckham palette using that deep espresso brown. I'm going to stamp that on the outer lash line and then drag it out. I'm not going to bring it too far in because I want to keep the brightness that we have going. And then to sharpen things up, I'm just taking a semi-clean shadow brush and just cleaning up anything under the wing. I'm going to put on a little mascara. This is the Maybelline Sky High in Brown, one of my favorites. And then we are going to do a little bit of a lash. While it's drying, let's also do the lips. I feel like the lips are another integral part of this look. You want to find like your perfect nudie pink type of shade. I feel like a lot of people think of Pillow Talk. If that works for you, that would be great. That one's a little bit warm for me, so I have some other options. Starting, I'm gonna use a little bit of a taupey lip liner. This is Colourpop in BFF, Cool BFF, one of my favorites. If you have super fair skin and fair lips, this is like a godsend. Overline a little bit, but in a way that sort of flatters my lip shape. So I have two lipstick options, actually one of them being Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Nude Romance shade. Packaging is so pretty. This is more of like a peachy nude, and it's more of like a glossy finish, which might work. Or this Patrick Ta, I forgot how much I freaking love this shade. The She's Independent, it's their like lip cream. So this one is a bit more muted. I think we have to go with that. It just looks like it's gonna fit the look better. So let's put this on. I feel like I usually can't pull off any sort of nude shade that's slightly warm. This is the one shade that it's so flattering. If you are a similar skin tone to mine, try this one out because it does give you that like more warm lip, but it still looks pretty good. All right, we're hopping around a little bit, but I'm gonna go ahead and clean up just the rest of the powder that was on my face using this fluffy brush. I'm actually gonna use something a little bit smaller because I don't want to brush any powder onto my glowy cheek work that we did. We're gonna do a glossy lip as well. I think that just, you know, everything's so glowy, so why not go all the way? This is the Pretty Vulgar lip gloss. This one is the Money Moves, which is a very pretty like rose gold, super shimmery shade. Oh, so pretty. To finish off the eyes, I used some Kiss, so Wispies. These are the 01 lashes, which look like this, but I cut them in half, and then I also sort of trim the front half of them to make them a little bit more tapered. I feel like the outer lash really completes the look. And then to set everything, let's use this gorgeous iconic London Prep Set and Glow Mist. It's gonna add a little bit more shimmer and just do us good. All right, she is set, she is glowy, she's shimmery. I'm honestly obsessed with this look. Even though it's more on the glam side, there's just so many techniques that I could still, and you still can, bring into your everyday makeup, like that lower lash line, keep it bright and light. You could literally just do that mascara and it would be so pretty. I hope you love this video as much as I loved making it. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss my next video. Like this video if you did enjoy it, or maybe if you didn't, I don't know, let me know why. And I will see you in one of these next two videos. Watch more. See ya.